Today's my birthday, and for the first time in years, I actually feel a flicker of excitement. Tessa, my wife, told me a few days ago she wanted to make it special. That word stuck with me because she's never been the one to plan anything big for me. Usually, I'm the one remembering dates, booking restaurants, or picking out gifts she'd like. So when she said she was throwing a party at our house, I was caught off guard. She even decorated, blue and gold streamers hanging from the ceiling, balloons tied to chairs, the works. She invited friends, some of my colleagues, even her boss, Darren, who I've only met a handful of times. It's a full house, buzzing with chatter and music, and I can't help but think maybe this is a turning point. Maybe after all these years of me trying to keep us steady, she's finally seeing me. Not just the guy who pays the bills or fixes the leaky sink, but me, her husband. I let myself hope, just for a minute, that I'm not invisible to her anymore. The night rolls on, and I'm starting to relax. People are laughing, clinking glasses, telling stories. I'm in the middle of talking to my buddy Mark from work when Tessa claps her hands to get everyone's attention. "Time for the cake," she announces, her voice bright and playful. She disappears into the kitchen, and I feel a little jolt of anticipation. A cake? For me? She's never baked anything in all the years we've been together, so this feels big. She comes back holding it high, a wide smile on her face, and everyone pulls out their phones to snap pictures. I lean in, ready to blow out the candles, and that's when I see it. The icing, in big, bold letters, spells out, "Congratulations, loser." The room explodes with laughter. Her friends double over, clutching their sides. Darren snorts into his drink. Even Tessa's smirking, like she's just delivered the funniest line of the night. I freeze, staring at the words, the heat creeping up my neck. It's not a joke I'm in on. It's a punch, and I'm the target. I don't laugh. I don't even move at first. The noise around me feels distant, like I'm underwater, watching them all cackle at my expense. My chest tightens, but I don't let it show. Instead, I push my chair back and stand up, slow and deliberate. The room quiets a little, eyes turning to me, waiting for my reaction. I pick up my glass, the one I've been nursing all night, and raise it. I'd like to make a toast. I say, my voice steady, louder than I feel. They lean in, some still grinning, others looking unsure. "To all of you, for being exactly who I always suspected you were." I pause, letting that sink in. A few smiles falter. To this party, so much thought put into it. I'll never forget it. Tessa's smirk fades, her eyes narrowing like she's trying to figure out if I'm serious. I keep going. Into the future, because I just realized how to treat you the way you've treated me. I hold their gazes for a second longer, then set the glass down with a soft clink. The air's thick now, awkward, but I don't care. I turn and walk out, past the streamers, past the half-eaten snacks, out the front door into the night. No one stops me. I don't look back. The cool air hits my face as I step outside, and my hands are shaking, but not from the cold. It's anger, sure, but something else too, clarity. I've spent years trying to be enough for her, for them, and in one stupid cake, she showed me what she really thinks. A loser. That's what I am to her. To all of them. I climb into my car, the engine rumbling to life, and sit there for a minute, staring at the house I've called home for a decade. The lights are still on, shadows moving behind the curtains. They're probably laughing again, brushing it off, telling each other I'll get over it. But I won't. Not this time. I pull out of the driveway, the tires crunching on gravel, and head nowhere in particular. Just away. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I know one thing for sure. I'm done being the guy they laugh at. Done being the one who takes it with a smile. Whatever comes after this, it's going to be on my terms. For once, I'm not the background noise. I'm the one walking away, and they're the ones who will have to deal with what that means. Looking back, I shouldn't have been so shocked by what Tessa did at the party. That cake, those words and icing felt like a slap, but if I'm honest with myself, it wasn't the first time she'd hit me with something like that. It's just that this time, she did it in front of everyone. Tessa's always had this sharp edge to her, a way of cutting you down and making it sound like a joke. Early on, when we were dating, I thought it was part of her charm, her quick wit, her confidence. She'd tease me in front of her friends, little jabs like, "Oh, he's not the ambitious type," or "He's reliable, but not exactly exciting." I'd laugh it off back then, tell myself she didn't mean it, that it was just her sense of humor. I'd sit there at those dinners or bar nights, smiling like an idiot, thinking if I took it in stride, she'd see I was worth something. But over the years, those comments piled up, and I started to realize they weren't jokes. They were her truth, slipping out in silk dresses and perfumed giggles. And me? I just kept taking it, like some loyal dog waiting for a pat on the head that never came. I've spent our whole marriage trying to be the steady one, the guy who doesn't rock the boat. When we got together, Tessa was this whirlwind, beautiful, loud, full of big dreams. She wanted to be someone, and I loved that about her. I figured I'd be the one to help her get there. So I cooked dinners when she was too tired from classes. I cleaned the apartment when she left it a mess. I worked overtime at my boring office job to pay the bills while she went to grad school for fashion design. When she graduated, I was the one clapping loudest, proud as hell. And when she said she wanted to buy a house, I made it happen. Saved every penny, signed the papers, turned it into a home for us. I thought that's what a husband does, builds the foundation so she could shine. But somewhere along the way, I turned into the furniture. The couch you sit on every day but never really notice until it's gone. She'd thank me once in a while, quick, distracted thanks, babe, over her shoulder. But then it was back to her world, her friends, her plans. I was the background man, the guy who kept everything running so she could play the star. It didn't hit me how far I'd faded until that damn cake. Congratulations, loser. I can still see it in my head, the blue frosting letters mocking me while everyone laughed. I've replayed that moment 100 times since I walked out, and each time, I feel the same burn in my chest. Not just anger, humiliation. I'd spent years thinking if I kept showing up, kept being the good guy, she'd eventually see me as more than just useful. But she didn't. To her, I was the punchline. The reliable loser who'd stick around no matter what she threw at me. And the worst part? She was right until that night. I'd let her get away with it for so long, brushing off the digs, swallowing the disrespect, because I didn't want to lose her. I didn't want to admit I'd built my whole life around someone who didn't even like me, let alone love me. But standing there, glass in hand, watching her smirk, something snapped. I wasn't just hurt, I was done. Now, driving away from that house, I keep thinking about how it got this bad. There were signs, sure. Like the time she forgot my birthday 3 years ago, then laughed when I brought it up, saying, "You're not a kid. Why do you care?" Or the way she'd roll her eyes when I talked about my day, but light up when her boss called with some new idea for her startup. I'd tell myself it was fine, that marriages have ups and downs, that she was just stressed. But deep down, I knew. I was the guy she settled for, not the one she wanted. And her friends? They were in on it too. I'd hear them whisper sometimes, catch the smirks when I walked into a room. Tessa's husband, they'd say, like it was a title that came with a wink. I'd pretend not to notice, keep my head down, keep being the nice guy. But nice doesn't win you respect. It just makes you invisible. Until you're not. I pull into a gas station, the neon lights buzzing overhead, and sit there with the engine off. My phone's buzzing in my pocket, Tessa, probably, or one of her friends trying to smooth things over. I don't check it. I don't want to hear her voice right now, telling me it was just a joke, or that I'm overreacting. I've heard that line before, and I'm tired of it. I lean my head back against the seat, staring at the roof of the car, and let the quiet settle in. For the first time in years, I'm not trying to figure out how to fix things with her. I'm not planning my next move to make her happy. I'm just sitting here, thinking about me. About how I let myself become this guy, the one who takes the hit and smiles through it. The one who's been a joke for longer than he wants to admit. And I decide, right there in that empty parking lot, that I'm not going back to that. Not to her, not to that life. She wanted a loser? Fine. But she's about to find out what happens when the loser stops playing her game. It's been 2 weeks since I walked out of that party, and I haven't said a word to Tessa. Not a single call answered, not a text replied to. Nothing. She's tried, oh, she's tried. My phone's been lighting up with her name, her voice filling up my voicemail like she's desperate to claw her way back into my life. At first, it was just her, leaving messages that started casual, like, "Hey, where'd you go? Call me back." But then it got more frantic, her tone sharper, words tumbling over each other. "This is ridiculous. You can't just disappear like this." I didn't listen to them all. After the first few, I stopped caring what she had to say. Then her best friend Kyra got involved, leaving her own voicemail, all high-pitched and bossy. "You're making this a bigger deal than it needs to be. Just talk to her." Even Tessa's mom called, which was a surprise. She's never liked me much, always thought her daughter could have done better. Her message was a mix of guilt and blame, something about how I'm tearing the family apart, and should be ashamed for abandoning my wife. I deleted it halfway through. They can all talk themselves hoarse. I'm not picking up. I didn't just sit around sulking, though. The day after the party, I found a short-term rental, a small apartment across town, nothing fancy, just a bed, a couch, and a kitchen I barely use. I packed a bag, grabbed my laptop, and left. Forwarded my mail to a P.O. box so Tessa wouldn't know where I am. I didn't tell her I was going, didn't leave a note. Why would I? She made her point with that cake, and I'm making mine with silence. I've been going to work like normal, clocking in, clocking out, keeping my head down. People have noticed I'm different, though. My manager, Troy, pulled me aside yesterday and said, "You okay, man? You seem quieter. But lighter, too." I just shrugged and said I was fine. He didn't push, and I didn't explain. What would I even say? My wife humiliated me in front of everyone I know, so I walked out and I'm not going back? No, I'm not ready to spill that yet. Let them wonder. It's kind of satisfying, actually, knowing they're curious, but I'm not giving them anything. The first few days were strange. I kept expecting to feel guilty, like I'd abandoned my duty or something. I've spent so long being the guy who fixes everything, her problems, our fights, the house, that disappearing felt wrong at first. But the more I sat with it, the more it felt right. I'd wake up in that quiet apartment, no one nagging me to do this or that, no one rolling their eyes at me over breakfast, and I'd think, this is what peace feels like. I started focusing on work more too. I've always been decent at my job, data analysis, nothing glamorous, but I've been sharper lately, catching details I used to miss. Troy even complimented me on a report I turned in, said it was some of my best work. I didn't tell him it's because I've got nothing else pulling at me now. No wife to rush home to, no dinner to cook for someone who won't say thanks. Just me and my own time. It's weird how much space that opens up in your head. Then, on day 14, the calls changed. Tessa's voicemail stopped being annoyed and started sounding panicked. "Please, I need to talk to you. It's important," she said in one. Another, "You can't keep doing this. We have to figure this out." Her voice cracked on that one, like she was about to cry. I sat there, phone in hand, listening to her unravel, and I didn't feel bad. Not even a little. I'd spent years jumping when she snapped her fingers, fixing whatever mess she made, and now she's the one scrambling? Good. Let her. Kyra called again too, her tone different this time, not bossy, but urgent. "You need to call her back. Seriously, it's not just about the party anymore." I didn't call back. I don't owe them anything, not after what they did. But I started wondering, what's got them so worked up? It's not just about me leaving. I can feel it. There's something bigger, something they're not saying. Tessa's never been this desperate before, not even when we fought. It's like she's scared, and that's new. I leaned back on the couch in my rental, staring at the ceiling, turning it over in my mind. 2 weeks of silence, and now they're losing it. I could call her, sure. Hear her out. Let her spin some story about how I'm overreacting, how she didn't mean it. But I don't want to. Not yet. Maybe not ever. I've given her so much, my time, my money, my patience, and all I got back was a cake that called me a loser. So I'm done talking. Done explaining myself. If she's panicking, that's her problem. I'm not her safety net anymore. I get up, grab a beer from the fridge, and sit by the window, watching the streetlights flicker on. My phone buzzes again, another message, probably her. I don't check it. Instead, I take a sip and let the quiet wrap around me. For the first time in forever, I'm not waiting for her next move. I'm making my own. And whatever's got her so rattled, I'll find out eventually. But it's going to be on my terms, not hers. She wanted me gone? Well, now I am. Let's see how she handles that. It's day 15 now, and the calls won't stop. My phone's practically a buzzing brick in my pocket, Tessa's name popping up over and over like she's trying to wear me down through sheer stubbornness. I've lost count of the voicemails, dozens, maybe more. I stopped listening after the first few shifted from annoyed to panicked, but I've caught bits and pieces when I delete them. "It was a misunderstanding," she said in one, her voice tight like she was forcing the words out. "You're overreacting, it was just a dumb joke," came another, that time with a little tremble at the end. Then yesterday, she left one that was just her breathing for a few seconds before she muttered, "Please, call me back. We need to talk." I didn't. I don't know what she expects me to say. Sorry for not laughing at her little stunt? Sorry for walking out after she turned my birthday into a public roast? No, I'm not the one who needs to explain anything. She can stew in whatever mess she's made. I'm done being the guy who cleans it up. Then this morning, Kyra texted. Not a call this time, just a short, Sharp message. You need to fix this before it's too late. Fix what? That's what's been rolling around in my head all day. I'm sitting at my desk at work, pretending to focus on a spreadsheet, but really I'm staring at those words on my phone screen. Fix this. Like I'm the one who broke something. Like I'm supposed to swoop in and patch up whatever's falling apart because I dared to walk away. Kyra's always been Tessa's mouthpiece, the one who swoops in to defend her no matter what, so I'm not surprised she's on me now. But too late? That's the part that's sticking. Too late for what? An apology? A marriage I'm not even sure I want anymore? Or something else? Something they're not telling me? I toss the phone face down on my desk and rub my eyes. I don't know, and right now, I don't care enough to ask. Let them figure it out. Work's been my anchor these past 2 weeks. I show up early, leave late, keep my head down. It's not like I love my job. Data analysis isn't exactly a thrill ride, but it's something I can control. Numbers don't laugh at you. They don't smirk behind your back or write loser and frosting. They just sit there, waiting for you to make sense of them. So I've been diving in, picking apart reports, double-checking figures, losing myself in the monotony. Troy's noticed, told me again today I've been on fire lately. You sure you're okay? He asked, leaning against my cubicle with that half-smile he gets when he's fishing for gossip. I nodded, kept it vague. Just focusing, I said. He didn't push, but I could tell he's curious. Everyone's curious, probably. I haven't told a soul about the party, about Tessa, about any of it. They can see I'm not wearing my ring anymore. Took it off the day I moved into the rental, but I'm not giving them the story. Not yet. Maybe not ever. The fallout's starting to show, though, and not just in Tessa's calls. I've been hearing whispers, little hints that whatever's going on with her is bigger than just me leaving. A guy from work, Mike, mentioned offhand that he saw something online about Tessa's fashion startup, some glitch with their website. Couldn't load it yesterday, he said, shrugging like it was no big deal. I didn't react, just nodded and changed the subject, but it got me thinking. Then there was a voicemail from Tessa I half listened to before deleting, something about everything falling apart, and you can't do this to me. Do what? I haven't done anything but leave. But now I'm wondering if there's more to it. She's not just mad I'm gone, she's scared. And Kyra's text? That too late line? It's nagging at me like there's a piece I'm missing. I lean back in my chair, staring at the ceiling tiles, trying to connect the dots. Her business, her panic, her begging. It's not adding up to just a fight over a cake. I get home to the rental around 8, drop my keys on the counter, and crack open a beer. The place is still bare, just the basics, no pictures, no decorations. It's not home, but it's mine, and that's enough for now. My phone's quiet for once, no new calls in the last hour, and I almost miss the noise. Almost. I sit on the couch, sipping slow, letting my mind wander. Tessa's always been the one with the big plans. Her startup was her baby, her ticket to being someone important. I supported it, sure, but I never thought much about what'd happen if it crashed. She's not the type to let it fail without a fight, though, so why is she sounding so desperate? And why's Kyra acting like it's my job to fix it? I set the bottle down, hard enough that it clinks against the table, and run a hand through my hair. That's when it hits me. They don't just want me back because they miss me. They need me. For something. Something tied to her business, maybe, or the life I helped build. I've been so focused on staying gone, I didn't stop to think about what I left behind, or what they can't do without me. I stand up, pace the small living room, feeling the pieces shift in my head. I'm not ready to call her, not ready to hear her voice, but I'm starting to see it. The fallout's not just emotional, it's practical. She's losing something, and it's tied to me walking out. I don't know what yet, but I'll figure it out. Not tonight, though. Tonight, I'm still the guy who's done talking. I grab my beer again, take a long swig, and let the silence settle back in. They can keep calling, keep begging, keep threatening. I'm not moving until I'm ready. And when I do, it's not going to be to fix anything for her. It's going to be to figure out what she's so afraid of and how I can use it. She wanted me to be the loser? Fine. But I'm not playing her game anymore. I'm playing mine. It's been over 2 weeks since I walked out, and today I finally start pulling the strings I didn't even realize I'd been holding. Tessa's calls have turned into a full-on storm, voicemails piling up, texts flooding in, each one more desperate than the last. You can't do this, she said in one I caught this morning, her voice shaking like she was on the edge of tears. Everything's falling apart. Please, just talk to me. I didn't reply. I've been sitting on this couch in my rental, staring at the cracked paint on the wall, thinking about what everything means to her. She's not just talking about us. Our marriage was a mess long before the party. No, this is about her dream, her fashion startup, the one she's poured her whole life into, the one I've been quietly propping up for years. And now, I'm starting to see how much of it rests on me and how I can take it all away. I didn't set out to ruin her, not at first. When I left, it was about getting space, about not being the guy who takes the hit and smiles anymore. But the more I think about it, the more I realize how deep I'm tied into her world. See, Tessa's big on ideas, flashy designs, bold pitches, Instagram posts that get her thousands of likes. But the practical stuff? The money, the contracts, the boring details that keep a business running? That's been me. I didn't just support her through grad school or buy her house. I funded her startup, too. Not all of it, sure, but enough to get her off the ground. I put my name on the bank accounts, signed the lease for her warehouse, even registered the website domain because she didn't know how. She'd laugh and call me her tech guy, like it was cute. But I was more than that. I was the backbone. And when I walked out, I didn't just leave her. I left her business hanging by a thread. Yesterday, I emailed my lawyer, Sam. He's a quiet guy, doesn't ask too many questions, just gets things done. I told him I want my name off everything, every account, every contract, every piece of that startup I've touched. You sure about this? He asked when he called me back, his voice calm but curious. It's going to shake things up. I told him I was sure. I didn't explain the cake or the party or the years of her treating me like a doormat. I didn't need to. He said he'd start the process, that it'd take a few days to sort out, but once it's done, I'm out. No more funding, no more access, no more me holding it together. I hung up and felt something shift in my chest, not guilt, not anger, just relief. Like I'd been carrying a weight I didn't even know was there, and now I'm finally setting it down. The fallout's already started. I heard from Mike at work again, He mentioned her website's been down for 2 days now, no explanation. Clients are pissed, he said, scrolling through some forum on his phone. I nodded like it was news to me, but inside, I knew. That domain? It's in my name. I haven't renewed it yet, haven't decided if I will. Same with the warehouse lease, payments due soon, and I'm not covering it this time. Tessa's probably scrambling, calling suppliers, begging them to wait. But they won't. They never do when the money stops flowing. And the bank accounts? I've already started moving my share out, piece by piece, into a new one she can't touch. She doesn't know yet, not all of it, but she's feeling it. That's why she's panicking. That's why she's blowing up my phone. She's not just losing a husband. She's losing the guy who kept her dream alive. I lean back on the couch, sipping a coffee that's gone cold, and think about how it all clicked. I didn't plan this, not when I walked out, anyway. I just wanted to be done. But the more I sat with it, the more I saw how much power I'd been giving her. Not anymore. I'm not yelling, not fighting, not making a scene. I'm just pulling back, quiet and steady, watching it unravel. She wanted to humiliate me? Fine. Let's see how she likes it when the tables turn. I'm not some vengeful guy out to destroy her. I don't have that kind of hate in me. But I'm not her safety net either. She made her choice at that party, and now I'm making mine. If her business crashes, it's not my fault. It's hers. She built it on me, and I'm not holding it up anymore. My phone buzzes again. Another text. I glance at it this time. You're ruining me. Please stop. I set it down. Don't reply. Ruining her? No, I'm just stepping away. She's the one who didn't see what she had until it was gone. I get up, walk to the window, look out at the street below. It's quiet tonight, just a few cars rolling by, headlights cutting through the dark. I wonder what she's doing right now, screaming at Kyra, maybe, or crying to her mom. Part of me wants to feel bad, but I don't. I've spent too long feeling bad for her, fixing her problems, taking her crap. This is her mess. And for once, I'm not cleaning it up. I head to the kitchen, grab a beer instead of the coffee, and sit back down. The lawyer's working on it. The money's moving. The pieces are falling. She'll figure it out soon enough, what I've done, what it means. And when she does, she'll know. I'm not the loser here. Not anymore. It's day 16, and I'm sitting in my rental, staring at my phone as it lights up with Tessa's name again. I've been dodging her calls for over 2 weeks, letting her stew in whatever panic she's drowning in. But tonight, something makes me pause. Maybe it's the quiet of the apartment, or the way the beer in my hand feels heavier than usual. I don't know. I just decide it's time to hear her out, not because I owe her anything, but because I want to know what's behind all this desperation. I swipe to answer, and before I can even say hello, her voice cuts through, sharp and ragged. You finally picked up, she says, like she's been holding her breath for days. There's no warmth in it. No, I miss you, or, I'm sorry. Just accusation, like I've been the one playing games. I don't say anything at first, just let her sit in the silence. You've put everything at risk, she hisses, her words tumbling out fast. Everything I've worked for, everything we built, it's all falling apart because of you. I lean back against the couch, feeling the worn fabric under me, and let her keep going. She's not wrong about it falling apart. I've made sure of that, but I'm not about to let her pin it all on me. You did that, I say, my voice low, steady, cutting her off mid-rant. You put it at risk when you served me humiliation on buttercream frosting. She goes quiet for a second, like she didn't expect me to bring up the cake. I can hear her breathing, quick and shallow, and I picture her standing in our kitchen, gripping the counter, trying to figure out how to spin this. It was a joke, she says finally, but it's weak, like even she doesn't believe it anymore. You know it was a joke, you're just blowing it out of proportion. I smile, but it's not a happy one. It's cold, tight, the kind of smile you get when you see through someone's bullshit. A joke, I repeat, letting the word hang there. You invited everyone we know, put loser on a cake, and laughed in my face. That's not a joke, Tessa. That's you showing me who you really are. She doesn't say anything right away, and I don't fill the gap. I'm not here to make this easy for her. Her voice cracks when she speaks again. You can't just leave like this. I need you, my business needs you. There it is, the real reason she's calling. Not us, not love, not even an apology. It's her startup, her dream, the thing I've been holding up while she took the spotlight. I've already started pulling my name off everything. The accounts, the contracts, the domain, and she's feeling it now. You need me, I say, leaning forward, resting my elbows on my knees. You didn't need me when you were laughing with your friends. You didn't need me when you made me the punchline. So why now? She stumbles over her words, trying to backtrack. It's not like that. I didn't mean it to. Look, I messed up, okay? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done it. But you can't just walk away and let everything collapse. I laugh, short and bitter, because that's the closest she's come to saying sorry in years, and it's still not about me, it's about her. Then maybe you shouldn't have laughed, I say, and I hang up. The click feels final, like a door slamming shut, and I toss the phone onto the cushion next to me. My heart's beating faster than I expected, but I don't feel bad. I feel free. She didn't even try to fight for us, just her business, her image, her world. I sit there, staring at the blank TV screen, replaying the call in my head. She's scared, that much is clear. Scared enough to admit she messed up, even if it was half-hearted. But it's not enough. Not after years of me being the guy who takes it, who fixes it, who stays quiet while she shines. I've been moving money out of our joint accounts, letting the website lapse, stepping back from the warehouse lease. She's figuring it out now, how much she relied on me, how much I did that she never noticed. And I'm not stopping. I get up, grab another beer from the fridge, and pace the small living room. The call didn't change anything, not really. I'm not going back, not bending just because she's finally feeling the heat. But it did show me something. She's not just mad I left, she's terrified. Her business is crumbling, and she thinks I'm the key to saving it. Maybe I was, once. Not anymore. I think about the lawyer, Sam, working on the paperwork, untangling me from her life. It's almost done, he said yesterday, another day or two, and I'm out. No more funding her dreams, no more being her silent partner. She'll have to stand on her own, and I'm betting she can't. Not without me. I take a swig of the beer, the cold biting my throat, and feel a strange calm settle in. This isn't revenge, not exactly. It's just me letting go, letting her deal with the mess she made. I sit back down, the bottle sweating in my hand, and think about what's next. She'll call again, probably. Beg harder, maybe cry, try to guilt me into coming back. But I'm not that guy anymore, the one who caves because she needs him. I'm the guy who walked out, who hung up, who's done playing her game. She wanted to humiliate me? She did. But now she's the one scrambling, and I'm the one holding the cards. I don't know how far this'll go, how much she'll lose before it's over, but I know one thing. I'm not picking up the pieces. Not this time. I finish the beer, set the empty bottle on the table, and lean back, letting the quiet fill the room. She's on her own now. Let's see how she likes it. It's been a few days since that phone call, and the world's starting to catch up to what I've done. I'm sitting in my rental, scrolling through my laptop, when I see it, a blog post I wrote a week ago, just a simple rundown of what happened at the party. I didn't use names, didn't point fingers, just laid it out. My birthday, the cake, the laughter, me walking out. I sent it to a buddy of mine, Jake, who's got a knack for getting stuff online without anyone tracing it back. Posted anonymously, I told him, not expecting much. Now it's everywhere. Thousands of shares, comments piling up, people picking it apart. I didn't think it'd blow up like this, but it has, and Tessa's feeling it. I can tell because her calls have stopped, replaced by a tense, eerie quiet. She's not begging anymore. She's scrambling. And out there, in the public eye, it's all unraveling for her. I lean back on the couch, the laptop warm on my thighs, and read through some of the comments. Who does that to their husband? One says. That's not a joke. That's cruel. Another adds. A few call her out by name. Guess it wasn't hard to figure out who I was talking about. Small town and all. I didn't mean for it to go this far. Not really. I just wanted to get it off my chest, put it somewhere that wasn't just my head. But now it's viral, and people are mad, not at me, at her. I close the laptop, set it aside, and rub my face with both hands. It's strange, seeing strangers take my side, calling her out for something I've been swallowing for years. Part of me feels good, like I'm finally being heard. But another part wonders if I've kicked a hornet's nest I can't control. The fallout's hitting her hard. I heard from Mike at work that clients are pulling out of her startup, big ones, the kind she bragged about landing. Payments are bouncing, he said yesterday, casual like he didn't know it tied back to me. I've been moving money out of the accounts, letting the website die, stepping away from the warehouse lease. Suppliers are calling her, asking why checks aren't clearing, and she's got no answers. I didn't tell Mike any of that, just nodded and kept working. But inside, I'm watching it play out like a slow-motion car crash. She built this shiny empire, all glitter and Instagram filters, but it was on my back, my money, my name, my quiet support. Now I'm gone, and it's crumbling. I didn't set out to destroy her, but I'm not saving her either. She wanted me to be the loser? Let's see how she handles losing. Then there's Kyra, Tessa's guard dog. She posted a story online last night, trying to spin it. It was just a joke. He's being dramatic. I saw it because Jake sent me a screenshot, laughing about how dumb it looked. She's digging her own grave, he wrote. He's right. The comments under Kyra's post are brutal. You don't joke like that with someone you love, one says. Sounds like she's the loser, another adds. People aren't buying it, and it's making things worse for Tessa. I can imagine her now, pacing her house, yelling at Kyra for making it public, trying to figure out how to fix this. But there's no fixing it, not when the truth's out there, raw and ugly. I didn't ask for this circus, but I'm not stopping it either. They wanted to laugh? Let them laugh at this. I get up, grab a glass of water, and stand by the window, looking out at the dark street. My phone's been quiet all day, no calls, no texts. It's weird after weeks of her blowing it up. Maybe she's given up, or maybe she's too busy putting out fires. Either way, it's not my problem. I've got Sam, my lawyer, finishing the paperwork. My name's almost off everything. The bank accounts are mine again. The domain's lapsed. The lease is her mess now. I'm out, clean and legal, and she's got nothing to hold over me. I take a sip of water, the cold hitting my throat, and feel a strange mix of calm and power. I didn't yell, didn't fight, didn't make a scene. I just walked away and let the dominoes fall. And they're falling hard. I think about work, too. How people are starting to notice I'm different. Troy keeps saying I look lighter, sharper, like I've got a new edge. He's right. I'm not dragging her weight anymore, not worrying about what she needs or how she'll twist my words. I'm just me, showing up, doing my job, living my life. Yesterday, a coworker asked if I was okay, said I seemed distant. I just smiled and said, I'm good. They don't need the details, not yet. But I can feel it, this shift. I'm not the background guy anymore, not the one who fades so she can shine. I'm the one who's still standing while her world burns down. And it's not even hate driving me. It's just done. I'm done. I sit back down, open the laptop again, scroll through more comments. Some are harsh, she deserves it, what a bitch, and I don't disagree. Others are kinder, saying I should have talked it out. Maybe they're right, but I tried that for years, and all I got was a cake in the face. This is what works. Letting her feel the consequences, letting the public see her for once. I close the screen, lean my head back, and close my eyes. The quiet's nice. No buzzing phone, no pleading voice. Just me in this moment. She's unraveling out there, and I'm here, steady, watching it happen. I didn't start this fire, but I'm not putting it out. She can deal with the ashes. It's been a few weeks since I walked out, And today I'm sitting in a coffee shop with Liv, a mutual friend who's always been more mine than Tessa's. She texted me yesterday, said she wanted to talk, and I figured why not. I've got time now, no one pulling at me. The place is quiet, just a few people tapping away on laptops, the hum of the espresso machine in the background. Liv's across from me, stirring her latte, looking at me like she's not sure where to start. I've been meaning to check on you, she says finally, her voice soft but steady. After everything. I nod, take a sip of my black coffee, and wait. I don't know what she's heard, maybe the blog post, maybe the rumors, but I'm not spilling until she asks. Then she leans in, lowers her voice. I heard about the party. And other stuff. From Tessa's side. That gets my attention. I set the cup down, look at her straight. What stuff? I ask, keeping it calm, but I'm already bracing myself. She sighs, glances around like she's making sure no one's listening, then starts. It wasn't just the cake, she says. I mean, that was awful, don't get me wrong. But she's been talking about you behind your back for years. At brunches, at parties, anywhere you weren't. I feel my stomach tighten, but I don't say anything. Just let her keep going. She'd make these comments, you know? Like how you were the boring guy who just pays bills. Said marrying you was like getting a company car, reliable, but nobody's impressed. Liv pauses, looks at me like she's waiting for me to react. I don't. I just sit there, letting it sink in, feeling the words cut deeper than I want to admit. She'd laugh, Liv adds, and her friends would too. Kyra especially. I'd sit there, not saying anything, because what could I say? But it wasn't funny to me. She shakes her head, takes a sip of her latte. I always wondered why you stayed. I leaned back in the chair, staring at the table, turning it over in my head. I knew Tessa had a sharp tongue. God knows I've heard it enough. But hearing this, that she's been mocking me like that, for years, to everyone? It's not a surprise, not really, but it still stings. Me too, Liv. I say finally, my voice quieter than I mean it to be. Me too. She looks at me, her eyes soft, like she's sorry she had to be the one to tell me. I didn't laugh, you know, she says. Not once. I always thought you deserved better. I nod, force a small smile. Thanks. I say because what else is there? She's right, I did deserve better. I just didn't see it until that damn cake hit the table. I take another sip of coffee, letting the bitterness match what's churning inside me. All those years, I thought I was building something with her. A life, a home, her dreams. I cooked dinners, paid bills, fixed the house, funded her startup. And she was out there calling me a company car? A boring guy nobody's impressed by? I picture her at those brunches, glass of mimosa in hand, tossing out those lines while her friends cackled. Kyra probably egging her on, adding her own digs. And me, at home, thinking if I kept showing up, she'd see me as more than just useful. What a fool I was. I set the cup down, harder than I mean to, and Liv glances at it, but doesn't say anything. She ever say anything good? I ask, half joking, but Liv just shrugs. Not that I heard. It was always about what you weren't, ambitious, exciting, whatever. Never about what you were. That hits me harder than the rest. What I was, steady, loyal, the guy who made her life work. She didn't see it, didn't care. To her, I was a punchline, a prop for her to look better. I think about the startup, how I poured money into it, signed the contracts, kept it running while she took the credit. And she was out there, laughing at me for it. I feel my jaw tighten, but I don't let it show. She's not laughing now, I say, more to myself than to Liv. She raises an eyebrow. Yeah, I've heard. Clients dropping, payments failing, she's a mess. People are talking. I nod. Don't elaborate. Liv doesn't need to know the details, how I've pulled my name off everything, how I've let her empire crack. But she's sharp, she can guess. You okay with that? She asks, tilting her head. I meet her eyes, hold them for a second. Yeah, I say. I am. We sit there for a minute, the clink of cups and low chatter filling the space. I think about Tessa, about how small she must feel now, with her world falling apart and no one to fix it. Part of me wants to be mad, to storm back and yell at her for all those hidden truths Liv just laid out. But I don't. I've already walked away. What's the point? She's getting what she deserves, and I'm not lifting a finger to stop it. You're different, Liv says, breaking the silence. Lighter, maybe. Like you're not carrying her anymore. I smile, a real one this time. I'm not, I say. She nods, like she gets it, and we finish our coffees without saying much more. When we leave, she hugs me quick, but firm, and says, "Take care of yourself, okay?" I tell her I will. Back at the rental, I sit on the couch, staring at the ceiling. Tessa's voice echoes in my head, not from the calls, but from those brunches, those parties, calling me boring, reliable, a loser behind my back. And yet, that company car built her empire. Now it's gone, and she's got nothing to lean on. I don't feel sorry for her. I feel awake. Like I've finally seen the truth she hid, and the one I hid from myself. I stayed too long, but I'm not staying anymore. She can keep her laughs. I've got my life back. It's been almost a month since I left, and today Tessa shows up at my rental. I'm in the middle of making coffee, nothing fancy, just instant stuff in a chipped mug, when the knock comes. I freeze, spoon in hand, because no one's been here except the landlord wants to fix a leak. I don't need to guess who it is. I can feel it in my gut. I set the spoon down, wipe my hands on a towel, and walk to the door, slow, like I'm giving myself time to decide if I'll open it. Another knock, sharper this time, and I hear her voice through the wood. "I know you're in there," she says, loud enough to carry but shaky, like she's barely holding it together. I stand there for a second, hand on the knob, thinking about the last time I saw her, smirking at that party, cake in hand, laughing with everyone else. Then I open the door, because I want to see her face now, after everything's fallen apart. She looks smaller than I remember. Her hair's messy, pulled back in a sloppy ponytail, and her eyes are red, mascara streaked down her cheeks like she's been crying for hours. She's still Tessa, sharp cheekbones, that expensive coat she loves, but she's not the polished version I'm used to. "Hey," she says, her voice cracking, and she steps forward like she's going to come in. I don't move, just stand there blocking the doorway, arms crossed. She stops, looks at me, and I can see her trying to figure out how to play this. "Can I come in?" she asks, quieter now, almost pleading. I don't say anything for a beat, just look at her, then step aside. Not because I want her here, but because I want to hear what she's got left to say. She walks in, glances around the bare apartment, couch, table, nothing on the walls, and I can tell she's surprised. "This is where you've been?" she says, like she can't believe I'd live somewhere so plain. I don't answer, just lean against the counter and wait. She turns to me, hands twisting together, and starts talking fast. "I didn't mean to hurt you," she says, the words spilling out like she's rehearsed them. "The cake, the party, it was stupid, I know that now. I was trying to be funny, and it went too far, and I'm sorry." Her eyes are wide, searching mine, but I don't give her anything back. I just stand there, letting her keep going. "I've messed up, okay? Everything's a disaster. The business, the clients, everything. And I know you're mad, but please, don't leave me like this." Her voice breaks on that last part, and she starts crying again, big, messy sobs that shake her shoulders. I watch her, this woman I've spent years trying to please, falling apart in my living room, and I don't feel what I thought I would. No anger, no pity, just a strange, quiet distance. I let her cry for a minute, then step forward, close enough that she has to look up at me. "You didn't mean to hurt me?" I say, keeping my voice even low. She nods, wiping her face with her sleeve, but I'm not done. "You meant to humiliate me." Her mouth opens, like she's going to argue, but I keep going. "You stood there, with all your friends, and you laughed. You've been laughing at me for years, Tessa," Liv told me. "The boring guy, the company car. You meant every word of it." She flinches, like I've hit her, and I can see the panic in her eyes. I didn't," she stammers, but I cut her off. "Don't. I know what you said. I know what you think of me. And now you're here because it's falling apart, and you need me to fix it." She shakes her head, tears streaming, but she doesn't deny it. She can't. I take a step back, look at her for a long moment. She's smaller now, not just in size but in everything. Her confidence, her shine, all that bravado she used to carry. "Please," she whispers, reaching out like she might touch me, but her hand drops when she sees my face. "Don't leave me like this. I can't do it without you." I nod once, slow, like I'm agreeing with her. "I know," I say. "You can't. But I'm not leaving you, Tessa. I already left." Her face crumples, and she sinks onto the couch, burying her head in her hands. I don't move, don't sit, don't try to comfort her. I just watch, feeling the weight of all those years, cooking, cleaning, paying, supporting, lift off me. She's not my problem anymore. She cries for a while, loud at first, then quieter, until it's just sniffles. I stay by the counter, sipping my coffee, letting her get it out. Finally, she looks up, eyes puffy, voice hoarse. "What now?" she asks, like I've got the answer. I shrug. "You figure it out," I say. "Your business, your life, it's yours. I'm done carrying it." She stares at me, like she's waiting for me to crack, to take it back, but I don't. I walk to the door, open it, and stand there. "You should go," I say, not harsh, just final. She gets up, slow, like her legs don't want to work, and walks past me. She stops in the doorway, looks back. "I'm sorry," she says again, barely a whisper. I don't answer, just close the door behind her. I stand there after she's gone, listening to her footsteps fade down the hall. The apartment's quiet again, just the hum of the fridge, the drip of the coffee maker. I sit on the couch where she was, still warm from her, and lean my head back. She's gone, for real this time, and I feel nothing. Not sad, not mad, just empty in a good way. Like I've finally let go of something I didn't know I was still holding. She's out there, alone, with her mess, and I'm here free. I don't know what's next, but I know it's mine. Not hers. Mine. It's been a few months since Tessa showed up at my rental, crying and begging, and I'm sitting in a new place now. A real apartment, not some temporary hideout. The walls are still bare, but I've got a decent couch, a table I picked up cheap, and a view of the city that's starting to feel like mine. I moved here a week ago, signed the lease with my own name, no ties to her, no joint anything. The divorce papers came through last month. Sam, my lawyer, made it quick and clean. I didn't fight for much, just what was mine, and she didn't have the energy to push back. Her business is gone now, folded under late payments and lost clients, and I hear she's living with her mom, trying to figure out what's next. I don't check on her, don't ask around. I don't need to. That part of my life's done, and I'm building something new, something that's just me. Work's been good. I'm still at the same job, crunching numbers, but I'm different there now. Troy keeps saying I've got a spark he didn't see before, and last week he pulled me into his office, offered me a promotion. Nothing huge, just a step up, more responsibility, better pay. "You've been killing it," he said, clapping me on the shoulder. I took it, didn't hesitate. It's not about the money, though that helps. It's about feeling like I'm moving forward, not just treading water for someone else. I've even started mentoring a couple of younger guys at the office, showing them the ropes, helping them sort out their own projects. They listen, ask questions, and it's weirdly satisfying, being the guy with answers for once. Not the background man, not the loser, the one they look to. I've been going out more, too. Not big nights, just small stuff, coffee with Liv, beers with Jake, a barbecue at Mike's place last weekend. People laugh with me now, not at me, and it's a difference I didn't know I'd missed. Liv's been a steady friend, checking in, dragging me out when I get too quiet. "You're doing good," she told me the other day, smiling over her latte. "Really good." I believe her. I'm not the guy I was hunched over, waiting for Tessa's next jab. I stand taller, talk easier, feel lighter. I even started dating again. Nothing serious, just a few dinners, a movie once, testing the waters. There's a woman from work, Sarah, who's been dropping hints, and I might ask her out next week. Slow, careful, but it's something. A start. Sometimes, though, I still think about that party. It creeps in when I'm alone, late at night, the memory sharp and loud, the blue and gold streamers, the cake, that word in frosting, loser. I can hear the laughter, see Tessa's smirk, feel the heat in my face as I stood there, glass in hand. It's not pain anymore, not like it was. It's just a marker, a line between who I was and who I am. I think about the toast I made, the way I walked out, and it feels like the first real thing I did for myself in years. I don't linger on it long, just let it pass, like a cloud moving over the sun. Then I think about the silence that came after, the kind that wasn't lonely but peaceful, and that's what sticks. That's what I've got now. I'm on the couch tonight, a beer in hand, the TV on low with some game I'm half watching. My phone buzzes Jake, asking if I'm up for drinks tomorrow. I text back a quick, "Yeah," set it down, and lean my head back. The apartment's quiet, but it's not empty. It's mine, my space, my rules, my life. I think about Tessa sometimes, wonder what she's doing, but it's fleeting. She's not my weight to carry anymore. I heard from Mike she's trying to start over, maybe a new job, but it's vague, secondhand. I don't care enough to dig. She's out there, dealing with her choices, and I'm here, living mine. That's how it should be. I get up, walk to the window, look out at the lights blinking across the city. It's late. The streets below mostly empty, just a few cars rolling by. I think about the guy I was, cooking dinners she didn't eat, paying bills she didn't notice, propping up her dreams while she laughed behind my back. I stayed too long, took too much, but I'm not mad about it anymore. It got me here, out of her shadow, into my own skin. I smile, small but real, and take a sip of the beer. The cold hits my throat, and I feel steady, grounded. I'm not the loser she thought I was. I never was. I was just the guy who didn't see it until I did. I turn back to the couch, sit down, and kick my feet up. The game's still on, but I'm not really watching, just soaking in the moment. I've got work tomorrow, drinks with Jake after, maybe a date with Sarah next week. It's not flashy, not loud, but it's mine. I think about the party one last time, the cake, the laughter, the walkout, and let it go. It's a story I don't need to tell myself anymore. I finish the beer, set the bottle on the table, and lean back, eyes half closed. The silence wraps around me, warm and easy, and I smile again. I didn't just stop playing the fool, I started playing for me. And that's enough.